Hey guys, how's it going? MasterBucks here. Welcome to another episode of the Wolverhampton Wanderers career mode in FIFA 19. We are going to be wrapping up the January transfer window in this one and then squeeze in a few more Premier League games and also an FA Cup game as well. Leicester City, Watford in the FA Cup in the second round that we've reached, technically the fourth round of the FA Cup. And then this game against West Ham, they're currently in the bottom 10. They're an okay side, but every single one of the games that we have today, as you may have noticed, are home games. So I feel like simulating the other one, whatever one it's going to be, I'm probably going to have it be the West Ham game only because there's a 2-day break between that game and the Watford game. So I'd much rather play when my players are fully rested. I would like to be able to go on a little bit of a cup run if possible, but at the same time, it's really important for us to do well and get as many points as we can in the Premier League too, because look, Liverpool, Spurs and Manchester United, they now seem to really be moving away, or Liverpool anyway, moving away from maybe the rest of the pack. Arsenal, Manchester City, however, still have a game left to play compared to those three. And then Chelsea as well have 2 games left to play. I feel like the top 6 are now going to really start putting distance between themselves and the rest of the competition. Meanwhile, you've got Palace, Newcastle, and just in that 9th position, just sitting underneath those two, is your boy Wolverhampton Wanderers. We are fighting for that 7th place. It's just sneaking into the Europa League. If we can just find a way to do it, that would be golden. I have my team fully fit, ready to go as well because we've had a week-long break. After this game, we've got the Watford game, which will also be about a week-long break as well. So I should be able to play with my strongest starting 11 for both games. Maybe have to rotate a little for the West Ham game to just get that one out of the way, but we will see. Hopefully we'll be able to do the job in both these games. I need to. I felt like I was playing relatively well in the last episode, but maybe didn't exactly get the amount of points I probably deserved. Hopefully not this time though. Premier League season this year has been very, very interesting. Leicester City were toward the top of the table, but now they've started to fall toward the bottom 10, and I imagine that they'll probably come back and maybe be able to rectify their place in the table a little better. But you can see some of the players that they brought in, like Tierney as well, and maybe a new centre-back in there as well, Herman, Madison, at that centre attack and midfield position, Iheanacho. So a little bit of a different team, but definitely some starting 11 players in there for sure. Players similar to what they're rocking with in real life, but here we go though. It is going to be, hopefully, a double victory for us over Leicester City in the Premier League this season. Putting them under some immense pressure here, and he's just forced to belt it up. And Neves is going to win the header. Dendonka's going to play it down for Neves. Can we continue this maybe? A little fake shot from Diogo Jota, but the defender coming back just clipped the ball away from him. Look at what happens. One shit pass. This is all it takes. Madison, good block from Bolly. It's going to fall back to a Leicester City player. Madison, another strike. Patricio's claimed it. Surrounded, but I'm liking the way that this is looking here. Raul! Oh, yes! That's not Raul Jimenez, sorry. That is Diogo Jota. Right on half-time. Again, wasn't the most convincing of finishes. I side-footed it with my left, which definitely gave the keeper a chance, but he couldn't get there. I just saw him free at the back there, and I was hoping, that Pereira, or whoever it was going to close me down and would give Diogo Jota a bit of space, and that's exactly what happened. It's almost like he's just picked his spot, top left corner, just passed it in there, but gosh, he gave Schmeichel every opportunity to stop that. Yes, come on. I feel like we absolutely deserve this lead so far, and hopefully we can build on it in the second. Dearie me, I'm going to pull out Bolly here, which I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have gone to switch to Aguilar, but I couldn't find him. Headed away, though, by João Moutinho. Raul Jimenez. Diogo Jota puts it too far ahead of him, but Raul Jimenez fights, battles, wins it back. A ball over the top here if it's well weighted, and it's not. What a fucking clearance from Johnny Evans, but we still have it, though, anyway. Diogo Jota. A little small one into the middle here. This could, maybe. Oh, my God, if I'd got a goal there, it would have been amazing. And they've done a good job to get out there, haven't they? Ricardo Pereira. Oh, dearie me, that's a real good job. Giovanni Dos Santos. I'm just trying to stay in the way there. It's not going to happen. We'll clear. They just move out the way sometimes, just automatically. I don't know how the hell that happens. That's a great header down. Great save, Patricio. Oh, God. I try to get players in the way, try to win the header, but no. And they flick it down so perfectly for Madison. Thankfully, Patricio's up to the task. Going for a somewhat near post. It switches to Raul Jimenez when he's nowhere near it. I'm not going to shoot with Ruben Vizot. I don't trust in his shooting. Or at least I haven't really tested it out yet, and I'm not going to there. Maybe with this man, though. Yes! Oh, come on! Who is this? Who is that? Oh, don't tell me it is who I think it is. No, I think it's It's Fernando that gets in on the action. Could that be his first goal for Wolverhampton Wanderers? It's definitely the first one I've scored with him. Nice 1-2 from my centre midfielders, combining right there, CDM anyway. But I thought this was going to get blocked. Did it? No, it didn't go through a pair of legs. Surprised he was able to get the shot off, but yes, what a finish. Oh my God. It's ended up in the back of the net, but he's offside. I thought this would have been an own goal off Ruben Vizot, though. And it's a good thing that number 15 just sort of came back, Bolly there, because he was playing him onside. Oh, that's real shit. They've worked their way through here. They might be able to get one, but they surely don't have enough time for two. And of course, I promise you, you would think I'm trying to run to the goal. I'm not. I switched to Johnny and was pointing left or trying to get him to run. He kept going. He just kept running in the other direction. I don't know how long it takes for their momentum to change, but that seems fucking ridiculous. From the moment I switched over to him, he kept running to the right. I promise you, look at the separation there. I fucking promise you, I was not running that way. I was pointing the total opposite direction. He kept backing upward. It's so fucked. That is so fucked. That is a real fucking problem. I genuinely almost need to highlight that. I've got to point that out. That just seems fucking ridiculous. I'm looking forward to reviewing and editing this video because that is a joke. They get one goal back, and of course it's ultimate difficulty, so they have to come up with something to make sure that they score because you can't keep a clean sheet, or at least one in every fucking 5-10 games you're going to keep a clean sheet against ultimate difficulty, but that is so fucked. That is absolutely fucked. That's a real problem. That is a genuine problem. I'm actually going to hit up EA about this. Fuck it. That is fucking shit. There are so many problems with this game defensively. It is a real shambles. I mean, shooting, that I think is just a matter of getting used to, which I'm not really willing to criticize it that heavily, but there are some things defensively in this game that really fucking shit me off. Like the AI off the ball, plays you're not controlling off the ball. If it comes to them, they don't really run at it if you're not controlling them. So they need to be so much more aggressive. And whatever the fuck happened there, that was ridiculous. You know, you're telling your player to run one way, to change direction, and they take a fucking solid second and a half. And there's about 3 or 4, maybe even 5 meters difference. It probably feels more than that between them and the player they're supposed to be marking. It's so fucking bad. Oh, I'm really pissed off because I genuinely thought I was about to get a clean sheet against them too, which I would have loved. I've not been able to get one for so long. Raul Jimenez is out with a pulled calf for 2 weeks as well, which means I think now we're going to have to run with either Ivan Carvalero or with Timmy Weah. But the 4th round in the FA Cup coming up is against Watford, so we will see if we can maybe go a little further, and if we can, we'll see what sort of teams the sort of teams that'll still be available for us to get. But even though it is still an FA Cup game, I'll rotate minor league. We will put Walker Peters in. I'm going to start Fernando, and I'm also going to put Dendoncker, who I've got as a CDM, and I think he's doing a good job there. Because I still want to start him, I'm going to play him at centre midfield. I'm going to play him all the way up the top because, like, he can play at centre midfield as well. He's a centre back that can play CDM and centre mid. I've been playing him at CDM. He's been doing pretty well for me, but Fernando's definitely the bloke I want to try in that position a little more since he's the one I bring off the bench for Dendoncker all the time. I just want to see what Dendoncker would be like at centre midfield. Weah will start this game as well as, again, like I said, Walker Peters as well. They're the only changes. Everyone's got pretty much fully fit stamina except for Neves, who's just missing a bit, but not too big a deal. We should hopefully be right for this game. We get to play back-to-back games at the Molineux as well, since every game in this episode is going to be a home game, and I need to bring this up. Marcus Rashford has gone to Watford. I was under the impression he was still at Manchester United and that he was the one that was going to be playing left wing for them, and if they didn't have him, they had Sanchez. That's why I went in for Martial. But now Manchester United have lost Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford, so they've only got Sanchez. He's hitting his 30s. God damn, that's a real problem area for them. Okay, we've got to be careful about that, about Marcus Rashford then in this Watford side, and they do have some other decent players to watch out for too. Man, we were there. Neves just, hits his face and thankfully goes and hits the side netting. That snuck away. If that snuck in, I would have been pissed, but I'm trying to stick in front of Rashford. Just doesn't matter. The man in front ducks and just comes off of his face. What a bizarre little event. Gray, up the middle. Jeez, he's just going all the way forward with no one there to meet him. Bolly's there with a good block, and I don't know what, again, that was, but we deal with it. Again, I'm trying to go in the total opposite direction. The game's not, listen, is my controller fucked? It's got to be fucked. Either that or this game is a joke. There you go. They've found their way forward, and it's going to be Gray that strikes. Try to stick in front of them, you know. Rashford's there. He's just backtracking. I try to go in for the tackle, but he gets it off in time, and I'm pretty sure that's gone through the legs of Bolly as well. Of course it has. Yep, we'll know from here. Yep, that's right. What a fucking clean hit from Andre Gray as well. Well, when it goes through the legs, you know, there's someone in the way. You can't really do much more than that. Big slide tackle. Come on. Again, that's what I'm talking about. Plays off the ball that you're not controlling. They don't ever run at the ball. With Johnny there, he probably could have got there first. I should have switched across a little earlier, but I just don't know why. I sort of expect him to immediately start going for it. I've got to learn. Again, where the fuck's Fernando going? He was in a pretty good spot and then just started running away, opened up a gap. Thankfully, we get away with it.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 2 minutes.
Oh, I was being real quiet throughout all that because I wanted to focus. And again, it doesn't fucking matter. Try to pick it off before Gray could take the touch. Didn't happen. It's opening up now, isn't it? I've got to stick with Rashford. I'm going to try to anyway. Swat back to Walker-Peters, who makes a tackle. And that is just going to stay in for us. We'll at least, you know, save the corner anyway. But we're still 1-0 down right now. And I've just not gotten close to scoring. It's so bizarre how I was really looking quite threatening in the last game. And the very next one, players movement off the ball and just, you know, passes getting intercepted or misplaced passes in the wrong player. It's just not happening for me at the moment. Step overs from Jota. That's going to work brilliantly, you know. Move it to the right-hand side here. Adama, can he shoot? You betcha! That's a real good move. Nice step overs from Jota. Cuts inside. Adama is there to finish. There we go. It all starts with the little step overs there. Adama is at that back post and you just got to get it to him. He takes a clean touch and a clean finish. The training and the drills we've been giving him really helping him turn into a pretty capable, solid finisher of the ball. It's all looking good. At first, I was a little questioning whether or not I was going to actually start Adama over Helder Costa, but I think it's proved to be the right call so far. Look at that for a ball from Moutinho. I love it. Adama now, play it into the middle. I'm going to run straight into trouble here, but Weah gets a shot off. I thought I was going to get tackled for sure. No, in the end, I got a shot off, but the keeper stopped it. That's a fucking phenomenal ball in, but oh, that's bullshit! Oh! A great through ball in. Can take nothing away from that. Rui Patricio makes a save, goes right back to him. He's on his ass. He can't make the second effort. I'm trying to get a number back. That's fucked. Come on. This is just a tremendous ball slipped in there. Johnny's not sticking with him, of course, off the ball. And as soon as I go to take control of him to try to get someone back on the line, doesn't matter. What the fuck happened there? It like clipped through his leg as well. Yeah, just to put the icing on the cake. Just to top off the bullshit. That happened as well. And now we have to try to go for it again. Little ball through there. It's just got into Jota. Oh my god! Moutinho skied it. Thought that was it. Thought that was it. Just over the crossbar. I thought that was it. I thought he was going to keep it relatively low to the ground, and that would have been that. We would have got back into it. This could be us out the FA Cup final. Or us out the FA Cup. They'll knock it up forward, and the referee will probably blow his whistle straight away. If not now. There you go. It's done. It is done. Man, what a goal. What a goal to get knocked out the FA Cup too. I swear. Great save from Moutinho. It's a phenomenal through ball, which just ultimate difficulty will bring out every now and again. But it's so fucked when they make the save and it just goes straight back to them. The amount of times that you'll make a save or a clearance, the opposition just gets a second chance at it when they should never fucking do. The amount of goals I've conceded like that, just second chance bullshit goals, just shits me. And it happens too often in my opinion. Probably a game that could have gone either way. We had a little more possession. They had a few more shots than us as well. So, again, could have gone either way. At least we don't have to do a replay and then get knocked out. If I'm going to get knocked out, I'd prefer to just get knocked out in one game. Thank you. No need for a replay. I think, too, by the way, that I've been training Dendoncker for so long and he's continued to stay at 79. I've got to stop. We played him at centre midfield. I don't think he did that well. I don't think he's maybe not super suited for centre midfield. Maybe CDM and centre back is where he belongs. One player I'm going to start training up will be Ruben Vinagre because he is actually the only left back that we have that is actually like one of our own, like not a loaned in player like Johnny. So we will lose Johnny at the end of the season. So after that, we'll just be stuck with Vinagre, even though I would like to be able to bring him back. So I'm going to train up his defensive stats a little bit because look, he's got like mid-50s defending stats as a left wing back. You've got to be so much better than that. So yeah, we'll swap up Dendonka's drills for Vinagre. We'll stick with this for the time being. And look, Timmy Weah, who had no impact in the game at all last time out, unfortunately for him. At least he's gone up to a 74. I've got my 2 games out the way, so we'll sim this one against West Ham. Again, it's at home, so again, I'm hoping that we should be able to do the job. And then not too long after this one, we have another game against Everton. Some of my players are going to get very, very tired. Timmy Weah again is going to start another game with Jimenez still injured. He might also be injured for the Everton game coming up in February, but it's going to be a loss. Yeah, it would be. Vezo scored in the 70th. They went 2-0 up at one point. Spinazzola got their brace. Arnautovic was injured. I saw an injury and I got a little nervous. I didn't know if it was one of mine, but they take the 3 points again. That's going to fuck us up in the race for 7th. I do see the comments of, oh, you sim too... I do see the comments of, oh, the only reason that you're up that high is because of sim games. Motherfucker, that happens as well. I probably lose just about as many games as I win. So I feel like simulating it isn't exactly that much of an advantage at times. One thing I will do in this deadline day, though, is sign a few players that maybe won't be starting 11 players and maybe not even bench players, but more young players to put in my reserves to train up to hopefully eventually find their way into the team, because we are sort of light on a few positions. One of those positions is definitely centre back. Right now we've got Bolly and Ruben Vezo starting. We've got Connor Cody after that. We also have Dendonka, but I mean, I like him at centre defensive mid. So after that, we really don't have anyone else. So I need to bring in some younger centre backs to hopefully, train up and let them become, part of the team in the future. So Dale Fry, one that I've got my eye on, a pretty young 21-year-old, 71 overall player. I feel like he's a decent reserve. And then on top of that, we've also got Ethan Ampadu from Chelsea. He's only 18 years of age from Wales. And look, apparently we can get him on the, super on the cheap. So I'm going to go for both of those players, and I'm going to immediately offer just a little over what he's valued, 4.5. Maybe if I could get him for about 6 mil, I'd be happy with that. Nah, they just say that's a fair offer. It's a little over his value, but I feel like that's a good deal for both. It's probably more for me. And all he wants is the exact same wage and a minor signing bonus and appearance bonus. That is, I'm more than happy with that. I may as well just round off his wage to 25. I'll even bump up his signing bonus to 300,000 and we'll bugger off his appearance bonus, submit that. Come on, give me something. Not quite what we wanted, but it's good. There we go. Little increase to his wage to round it off to 25, and Dale Fry is a Wolverhampton Wanderer. You beauty. So we've brought him in. Hopefully we'll train him up, and he maybe will surpass Connor Cody as our bench centre-back soon as well. And just because we are really, really light on centre-backs, and, we could do with another one, I'll go for Ethan Ampadu as well, because we can get him for so cheap. And on top of that, we can play him at CDM as well. So if we can round up his stats a little more, then maybe we could also have him as a bit of a nice, a little bit of a Dendonka type, can play both centre-back and CDM. They tell me I could get him for less than this, but I'm just going to offer his value, and I'm pretty confident I'm going to be able to get him for that. There you go. Boom. How quick was that? 1.1, we just pay their values, and then, I'd expect to have to pay double to triple, to in some occasions quadruple, maybe even 5 times more than a player's value if they're a younger player with a high potential. But nah, just get them for basically whatever they're worth right now. But I played FIFA with this bloke in real life. He seemed like a decent lad, and just for that, I'll chuck an extra 5. No, maybe not. Okay, maybe not 6 grand. Come on, I'm not that generous, but 15 grand just to make sure that we get the job done, just in case I out of nowhere get stuffed with, oh, the wages you are offering me are an insult, despite the fact they're nearly double what you're worth, or at least double what he's getting paid. But boom, done, finished. He's got a great haircut, seems like a great lad, and now he's part of Wolves. Awesome. So we've now got some new centre backs. The one other position I'm going to go for, because I have only got one left winger in the team right now, and that is obviously Anthony Martial will be joining us next season. But that left wing back, or that left winger, is Diogo Jota. I don't actually have another out-and-out left winger in the team. So again, I would like to go for another younger player, and I'm thinking between either Taith Chong, who is genuinely, again, I'm thinking about picking him up. Diogo Rossi is another one, but unfortunately, I think he is actually on loan, which sucks because I was genuinely going to go for him. He was my number 1 pick. And the other one is Birahim Diaz, who 3-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. For me, the fact that these guys are the same age, and Diaz, yes, is a little higher rated, they both play and can play in the exact same positions. I'm just going to have to go into their stats, look really in depth, and make a judgment call, because I really wanted to get Rossi, but he's just away on loan, so I don't think I can't do it. I tell you what, I like Diaz. I like Chong, not much to split them, but the fact is, Tai Chong does have 4-star weak skill moves that unlocks an awful lot of array of moves that I use that I think are very, very handy to get past defenders, like certain step overs and the stop and turn, the Berber spin, for example. He can do that. Diaz can't, and Diaz will never be able to. He's also a left footer compared to Diaz, who is a right footer on that left-hand side. I honestly, you look at the stats, you boil it down, there's not much to split them. There's little advantages that each player has over the other, but in the end, I think I'm going to go with Chong over Diaz here. Again, just because maybe he'll be a little bit cheaper, we can train him up, but that's who I'm going to go with. And with the way things have been going for me, basically offering a player's value and getting them for that value, I wouldn't be surprised if we got him for 2 million bang on. And there you bloody go. Jose Mourinho is just like, yep, done, finished. We're done here. Good job. Let's get out of here. So here we go then. This man will probably more than likely be my final signing. He wants a wage decrease, a real significant wage decrease, and a signing bonus. Man, I'm shocked by that. I know he's getting paid quite a fair bit at Manchester United, and maybe Wolves don't have the same resources, but still, that's a fair pay cut. Because I feel a bit sorry for the bloke, and because I like to really round things off, it's a bit of just an OCD thing of mine. I'll bring it up to 17.5 and a little signing bonus, maybe just to hopefully up his morale a little bit. I don't know if that would be something. If he gets a good deal, it should boost his morale. There, come on, EA, just pay me for these ideas. I've got them coming out the woodwork, but we're done. Again, he's like, it's not quite what we were hoping for, even though it's an increase on what he said. I didn't have to do that for him, but he is in. Again, no gigantic, massive signings or anything like that. We're very much sticking to the way that Wolves have been doing it, with just getting those younger, youthful, high potential players and bringing them up and making them the stars and doing it that way, not making the huge signings. My one statement signing, like I said, was that of Anthony Martial. I am still waiting patiently as well for any offers, anything to come through, but nothing's happening as we get to the halfway mark. We are seeing just a little bit being spent, 330 mil. A lot of that was spent right at the start of the window, and now another probably decent or big deal coming through. Torreira's been loaned away when he's been doing so well for Arsenal in real life. Kenny Tete loaned away as well. Very interesting stuff, but I'm not part of this at all. The next biggest transfers that happened would be Leverkusen leaving or selling Brandt to Everton. We've got Kimpembe going to Madrid. I can almost kind of see that transfer happening. Roberto has gone to Manchester United. That's another interesting one. Timo Werner to Real Madrid for just under 50 million as well. And David Silva to FC Barcelona. Manchester City are losing a lot of their icon players, aren't they? They have gone through a real shake-up. But anyway, it's time for some monthly scouting updates. We'll see if they've picked up anybody. In Portugal, I don't see a lot of players. I don't see a lot. Anyone with a decent potential. Couto maybe, and Raul Azevedo as well, although his overall is pretty low. Again, it's not great. How about in France? We've had some decent players come through so far, and again, not really super promising in France either. We've got Deluc maybe. The overall's not great, or the value's not great anyway. Albert as well, but just again, not great so far. And in England, we've got a few other players to get through. Oliver Shaw, nice potential, 6'2" goalkeeper. It's an okay value. He's probably the best player that's come through so far, so we'll have to get him, and that'll be that. Tell you what, this Jamie Cook fella too, though, high potential, max overall in the 60s, and his value's okay as well. So we'll get him as well. That's it, though. I'm coming very close to signing Jan de Groot, to bringing him out as well. I know that there was a lot of talk about these aren't his actual stats; these are like his potentials, which would make sense because he's only 63 overall. But I don't understand why they're showing me what he could be rated instead of what he is. Because surely, if I go to Harvey Martin, these are his stats. So why aren't these his stats? It's confusing. But now that we're at the January transfer window, now that we've made those final signings, I think we're pretty much done here. We are going to leave it this game against Everton coming up away at Goodison Park, with the way that they're shaping up as well. Maybe just again, very, very close to, it's Everton. They're always finishing in that 7th position, or they're always getting close. They're always the team you'd expect to finish around about that spot. So they very well could be fighting for European football as well. And with the fact they've got a game less played than us and 4 points behind, they're right with us as well. So this again is another 6-pointer. If we can take as many points off the teams in the same position as us, that is massive. Just a real quick look at stats as well before we end this episode, because we've now reached the end of the episode, being out of the January transfer window and coming into February. We've still got Raul Jimenez leading us in the goal scoring with 14 for the season and 3 assists to go along with it. 11 goals in the Premier League, and he is not too far off top goal scorer. Right now it's Dele Alli actually with 14, so he could do it maybe. Diogo Jota and Adama, my left winger and my right winger, with 9 goals each. Jota's got a lot of his goals in the Premier League, although Adama's picked up a fair few. To be honest, a lot of those goals, 3 of them were in friendly tournaments. I don't even know why. I don't even think they should count personally toward the tally, but still, regardless, he has been scoring for me. Weah's got 5 in 9 appearances, which is pretty good to see. João Moutinho's providing a bunch of assists, as is Ruben Neves, Fernando, Dendoncker, Johnny, Cavaleiro. We've got a bunch of players stepping up, which is great to see. And again, I already touched on this, but you see where all my assists are coming from. Ruben Neves and João Moutinho. Like crazy. Like some of my strikers and my wingers pick up assists, as do my fullbacks. But, bro, 20 assists between João Moutinho and Ruben Neves is insane. But that will do it for this one. We have the game against Everton, to start the next one. And the fact that they're in 10th, with a game less played than us and 4 points behind us, they're right with us in terms for that race for 7th place. It's between us, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, Everton, and maybe a few other teams are on their way up as well. It's really tight, but we've only got 15 or 14 or so more games left to go, so we are coming toward the end of it. Games against these sorts of teams in that exact same position to us, so vital, so important that we try to take, it's a real 6-pointer. Try to take maximum points off them, but that will do it for this one. Till the next video, my name is MasterBucks. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good one.